Good evening again and welcome back to the channel. Now, another question somebody asked was about the transfer time from Dubrovnik Airport to Dubrovnik Port. Now, that's very easy to answer that question, especially from someone that's been Dubrovnik 12 times. So, my advice is this. When you get off the plane, and you obviously go through the passport control, whether you're on a holiday or a cruise, it doesn't matter. But let's, obviously for a cruise, let's just say this. Dubrovnik Airport is one of the most efficient airports in Europe. So once you've collected your luggage, I would say, they usually put it on a truck and it will be transported to the ship. So when you board your coach to go to the port, obviously you see a Marella Cruises rep when you've gone into the arrivals bit. And then obviously you'll be directed to a transfer coach. Your luggage will be put onto a van, or in a van or on a truck, transported to the ship, and you won't see the bag till it's outside your room, which may take some time once you arrive. So don't expect it there straight away, because you may not get it till the evening. But when you board your coach, sit on the left hand side of the bus, so the same side as the driver, because when you head into Dubrovnik from the airport, it's about 10 miles. So you obviously go past Savtat first, and then you'll follow the coast road all the way down until you get to Dubrovnik. Sit on the left-hand side of the bus, coach, whatever, and you will get some fantastic views of Lochram Island, and you'll obviously get views of the old town of Dubrovnik as you go in. And then you'll obviously go past that, and then you'll head towards the Gruž port, the bridge, but you'll turn off before there, and obviously you'll get to your ship, which usually will be Marella Explorer 2, because that's where it goes from. Other Marella ships do call into Dubrovnik, but Marella Explorer 2's home port is Dubrovnik. Marella Explorer 2's home port is Dubrovnik from around May to October. So it's there every single Thursday. So you do your Sail 3 Seas, you do your Adriatic Affair, you do your Adriatic Delight, you might do a Grecian cruise, but you'll all end up to and from Dubrovnik anyway. And obviously another bit of advice, if you want to see the ship from the plane when you come into land on a TUI or a Jet 2 flight, sit on the left hand side of the plane. So the easiest way to do that is to sit on the seat that's lettered A. So if you're doing a flight to Dubrovnik with Jet 2, TUI or EasyJet or Ryanair or British Airways or Aer Lingus, sit on letter A for your seat. Choose the letter A on your flight plan when you do your seat select for your holiday, whether it's a cruise or a holiday. Because when you come into land in Dubrovnik, you usually fly in over Dubrovnik, past the Dubrovnik Old Town towards the runway, and you'll see the Gruž port, and you'll see the Elefiti Islands, and obviously you see the bridge where the ships all dock, and then you'll see Babin Cook, you'll see Lapad Bay, obviously over to the Old Town, and you'll get some cracking views of it. You'll be able to zoom your camera right in, you'll be able to see the cable car on top of the mountain, and obviously you just fly, and then the plane obviously will continue its way towards Savtat, and you'll fly in over there to land. So again, sit on the left hand side of the plane when you come into land, and when you take off to go home, sit on the seat letter F, because usually when the plane takes off, it takes off towards Montenegro and banks right the way round, and then you'll see the old town when you go home. Sometimes it takes off towards Dubrovnik, but again, if you're sitting on letter F, you're going to get a great shot of the old town going that way. So that's what I would recommend. Letter A for coming into land in Dubrovnik, and letter F for going home. And obviously sit on the left-hand side of the coach when you leave the airport to go to the ship or a hotel if you're staying before a cruise or after it, or even just going there for a holiday. So take that advice from me, because I've been that many times, and I've always got cracking photographs and video of Dubrovnik when I've come into land and taken off to come home, and it's fantastic, honestly. So you'll enjoy that. So again, subscribe at Cosmos25. The journey to from the airport to the port takes about half an hour. So what will happen usually is you'll have your passport stamped at Dubrovnik Airport, and then before you actually get to the ship, you will get to the port, and you'll get off the coach, and you will go into the passport office in there, and they stamp your passport again, because you're basically leaving Croatia if you think about it. So you've arrived into Croatia through a plane, on a plane, and then you're leaving because you're going on a cruise, and you're leaving Dubrovnik, you're leaving Croatia, wherever you're going on your cruise. so they will stamp your passport again. And the same will happen when you get back to Dubrovnik to go home. You'll have your passport stamped when you get off the ship, because you've obviously arrived back into Croatia, and then you'll get to the airport and your passport will be stamped again because you're leaving Croatia to go home. But obviously when they bring in this ETIAS system, that should all be a thing of the past. But again, we don't know when that's happening. It's not been brought in yet because they've delayed it again. So keep an eye on the news for that, obviously online as well. But at the moment, passports are being stamped. And obviously, you need to have a 10-year passport. And obviously, ignore the extra 9 months that were added because it won't be relevant anymore. So whatever month your passport expires, please be careful of that. They usually allow you to have at least 3 or 6 months left on your passport to go abroad. And obviously, when you leave the country to come back to Britain, you've got to make sure that your passport's not expired. So bear that in mind as well. So, but that's my advice with the transfers from Dubrovnik Airport to the ship. It's about half an hour. And then once you've obviously got your passport stamped at the port, you'll then go through the check-in procedure where you can either register a debit card or you can deposit some cash to use on board for your onboard account. And then you usually go and board the ship, and you might have your photograph taken. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but it's always nice to have a photograph taken before you board the ship. And then it's up to you whether you buy it or not later on your cruise. But I hope that's answered that question. So it's @CarlSmith25 to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.